Okay, so now that Avengers has been out for like 2 weeks now, I think it's pretty okay to move away from the old news and over to the new hotness. Let's talk about Deadpool. Deadpool 2 comes out in 2 weeks and it looks to be a much bigger film than its predecessor in all the best ways possible. The action looks much bigger, the cast is expanded to include a lot more comic book characters, and Deadpool himself is just as irreverent as ever.
And that is why Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants is pure pornography.
But is it just me, or have you guys noticed that the more recent trailers, specifically the more recent trailers, have been focusing more on the new characters in Deadpool 2 and not so much on the title character himself? Let's talk about X-Force today. First, some background in case you don't know anything about Deadpool. But the movie made like $700 million, so you probably should know something. But in case you don't remember, Deadpool was a 2016 superhero film based on the Marvel Comics character of the same name. The film stars Ryan Reynolds as Wade Wilson, the titular merc with a mouth, who's on the hunt for the people who gave him his mutant abilities and horrible body disfigurement. All with the sarcastic wit and fourth wall breaking that the character is famous for.
I'm touching myself tonight.
The film was a big success both critically and commercially. It revitalized Ryan Reynolds' career, it made director Tim Miller a hot commodity in Hollywood, and it showed that R-rated superhero films can work in this day and age. Naturally, a sequel was greenlit, the upcoming Deadpool 2, and with that came a much bigger budget, more creative freedom, and the ability to expand Deadpool's world to a much larger state than it was before. In the trailers, we can clearly see this through the inclusion of X-Force, the group of guys and gals we see Deadpool jump out of a plane with. X-Force was created in 1991 by Rob Liefeld, the co-creator of Deadpool. They were sort of to be a revamp of the New Mutants team for the 90s.
Isn't that a little derivative?
You're absolutely right.
And they really were a more extreme 90s version of the X-Men, a more rough and tumble Black Ops version of the team. And while the lineup has changed significantly throughout the years, I mean, most comic book teams have, the core idea of it still remains the same. Now, the team in the movie is fairly different from the original comic book lineup. In the comics, the team consisted of Boom Boom, Cable, Cannonball, Domino, Feral, Shatterstar, and Warpath. Now, the movie does contain both Shatterstar and Domino. Shatterstar has the ability to create shockwaves and teleportation portals with his swords, and Domino has the ability to manipulate luck for her advantage.
Luck isn't a superpower. And certainly not very cinematic.
Yes, it is.
Let's meet in the middle and say no, it isn't.
The movie adds to the team Zeitgeist, who has the ability to vomit acid, nice, Bedlam, who has the ability to create and project electromagnetic fields, and Peter.
Peter.
Any power you want to tell us about?
I don't have one. I just saw the ad.
You're in.
Also, I think Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead from the first Deadpool movie are on the new X-Force team, but that's not clearly been stated by anything, so let's just put an asterisk on their names for now. Now, you may have noticed I didn't mention Cable as being part of the team, even though he's in the movie, being played by Thanos himself, Josh Brolin. Well, that's because it looks like Cable is going to be the antagonist of the film, at least at first. It looks like Cable has come from the future to kill a kid named Russell, and Deadpool forms X-Force to try to stop him. Now, comic book Cable is Rob Liefeld's other famous Marvel creation, and is actually the son of X-Man Cyclops and Madeline Pryor, a clone of Jean Grey. It's comics, don't ask me to explain that. As an infant, Cable was sent 2,000 years into the future to try and find a cure for a techno-organic virus that he contracted while trying to stop Apocalypse from taking over the world. As an adult, he was sent back to the present to track down his mortal enemy Strife and... Alright, I'm gonna level with you guys for a second here. Cable kind of sucks as a character. I know we're all supposed to be excited that he's in this movie, Cable and Deadpool go together like peanut butter, jelly, whatnot, but I mean, come on, his backstory is needlessly complicated, it's needlessly dark, and just look at him. He looks like a stereotypical Rob Liefeld drawing before we knew what that was. Anytime Cable shows up in either the comics or the 90s X-Men cartoon or wherever, it just makes the story needlessly complicated for no other reason than to try and be cool. He is pretty much the worst of the 90s in one character. I know people like him. I know people are excited to see him in live action, but I'm sorry, I can't condone Cable. Maybe Brolin will prove me wrong, but in his original form, no, I'm not a Cable person. Never liked them. I'm going to put my glasses back on because I can't see, and we'll continue with the video. So that's X-Force, basically. So why add them to this movie? Why specifically Deadpool 2 and not, say, an X-Force solo film? Well, Deadpool is closely associated with the team X-Force. He did debut in New Mutants, which was the precursor to X-Force. He's been a member of various incarnations of the team, in particular, the incredible Uncanny X-Force series by Rick Remender. But I don't necessarily think that the comic book relationship to Deadpool is the sole reason why they're in this movie. I think something else is afoot here. Have you noticed in the trailers that they've really been playing up the fact that there's a team of mutants in this movie? The last trailer in particular really showed a lot of X-Force, almost at the expense of Deadpool himself. Why is this? Well, they could just be showing off the new characters. I mean, we pretty much all know who Deadpool is by now. Why not show us the new guys? But I think there's more to it than that. Now, I don't have any evidence to back up what I'm about to say, so this might just be conspiracy theory. This is definitely conspiracy theory, but let me try to explain. It really isn't a secret that the first film almost didn't happen. It's no secret that 20th Century Fox did not want to make it. It was only after the test footage got leaked online and only after several major budget cuts that they finally agreed to go into production.
It's a big house. It's funny that I only ever see two of you. It's almost like the studio couldn't afford another X-Men.
But while they seem to be pretty busy not making Deadpool films, Fox was also very busy trying to find other spin-offs to their popular X-Men franchise. This included X-Force. This seemed to be a spin-off that they could get behind. It's another team-based superhero film which Fox had already had success with the other X-Men films, and by this point the Avengers was a thing and just making all the money. Sure, Deadpool could possibly appear in the X-Force movie, but A, he wouldn't have his own solo film, what we all really wanted, and B, he probably wouldn't be in the movie at all because the last time Deadpool was on screen...
Wait, is that you?
But it seems like Fox is finally getting their X-Force movie. It just happens to be shoved into the sequel to a film they didn't want in the first place. Which is fine. Like I said before, X-Force and Deadpool do go together, and the majority of the promotional material for the film has been Deadpool focused already, so maybe I'm just making this up. But then why did Ryan Reynolds say that Deadpool 3 isn't a sure thing? And why is Drew Goddard tapped to write and direct an X-Force movie before Deadpool 2 is even out? Does this mean that if DP is going to show up in any more movies, he's only going to show up in X-Force films? Is this the end of solo Deadpool movies? Again, I have no evidence to suggest that this is actually what's happening, and I'm probably making all of this up. I'm sure, if anything, Deadpool 3 will come out on schedule, and it and X-Force will live side by side as separate movie franchises, at least until the Disney buyout is finalized and they reboot the whole thing. I just wanted to bring it up because I started noticing a pattern of Deadpool being shown less and less in the official trailers. And when I see patterns with comic book movies, my mind turns into that picture of Charlie from Always Sunny with the conspiracy theory board. But what do you guys think about X-Force being in Deadpool 2? Are you excited to see that? Do you wish there was a comic book character from X-Force that showed up in the film? Or do you think this is part of a grander evil conspiracy within 20th Century Fox to kill Deadpool and replace it with another film franchise? You probably don't, but if you do, let me know down below or anywhere on the internet. If you're looking for more Deadpool and X-Force before the movie comes out, I have Amazon links in the description for some comics I think you might enjoy. You'd get great stories, and I'd get some money. And of course, new videos every Tuesday and Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's Wulff Den Live, so subscribe to see all of that, like this video, and share it with a friend who also has nutty ideas about studio politics and that kind of stuff. Thank you all for watching. I will see you next time.